Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. I hope all of you are fine and doing well. So, topic here that we are going to discuss today it is the complex compounds. Now, this topic is new to you. That what does mean by the complex compounds? Basically, these are the class of the substances that have the chemical structure where there is a central atom, which is a metal, and it is surrounded by the non-metal atoms, or it may be surrounded by a group of different atoms which are being called as the ligands. These are called as basically the complex compounds. Basically, the complex compounds are being formed by the metals which are called as transition metals. We have already discussed about the transition metals. These are the metals belonging to group D and F blocks which is present in the periodic table. They have partially filled d orbitals, so that's why they are called as transition metals or transition elements. If we have just this very simple example for the complex compound, according to this description, there is a central atom, like we have a simple compound in which we have K4, iron, and we have cyanide 6. So here the central atom, this is the iron, and it is surrounded by the non-metal atoms, like here we have nitrogen and carbon, or a group of atoms. So this is the 6 cyanide group atoms that just surround the iron, and here the potassium atom is also present. So this is a simple example of the complex compounds of the transition metals. Now, how do we be able to know about the transition metals earlier? So we must have a look on its discovery. Complex compound discovery, here we have. It has been observed that when the aqueous solution of iron cyanide, which is FeCN2, and potassium cyanide, they both are get mixed together and they are allowed to evaporate it, then a new compound is obtained. Now, what type of the new compound is being obtained? It is the aqueous solution which is in aqueous solution does not ionize. It means when we just add up the water, it do not get ionized. This is a very simple process in which in the first beaker we have iron cyanide, and here we have the second beaker in which we have potassium cyanide. Now when they both get mixed, then we just gain a new compound, and here the process of evaporation just take place. When the evaporation is just allowed, after this there is a new compound formation, and that compound do not ionize when we just add the water. Now it must ionize as containing iron and cyanide ions and potassium, so it must produces the iron Fe2 positive cyanide negative ions, but it ionizes as the compound producing two types of the ions, in which it is going to produce the potassium ion positive, as well as here this compound in which we have iron and cyanide 6, and it is having oxidation state -4, which is called as ferrocyanide ion. So on the basis of this, it has been given the formula K4 iron cyanide 6. So this compound, which is iron cyanide ion, it is called as the complex ion. So this was a simple discovery of the complex compounds that was done by an accident, or that was simple done by the addition of the two different compounds, but they do not ionizes to give the expected ions. In turn, they just produces the two different types of the ions, and later on they will be identified. Likewise here, first of all, they just add up these two compounds. This compound is formed. Now after ionization, they produces potassium ions and ferrocyanide ions. So this is a simple discovery of the complex compounds. After this, we have here the simple example in which what we can call all these atoms. Here the iron, it is being called as the central atom because it is present in the center, and it is surrounded by these different non-metals. Like the surrounded atoms or the non-metals are called as ligands. As there are six in number, so this six number is its coordination number, and this sphere is being called as the coordination sphere. And the potassium which is present outside the brackets, it is called as the counter ion, which is being attached to the group which is having the negative charge, and here the potassium will carry the positive charge. So this type of compound is being called as the complex compound. On the other hand, this is also being called as the complex coordination compounds, or the simple called as coordination compounds, or they are being also called as the complexes. So it depends upon that what type of name we are being use for this compound. Now, the complex compounds may contain two different forms, like they may have a simple cation and a complex anion. On the other hand, they may have a complex cation and a simple anion. It just depends upon the type of the ions which are present or that are making up the complexes. Like in our previous example, we have just K4, iron, and here the cyanide 6. Here it produces potassium, so it is possessing simple cation and a complex anion. But on the other hand, if we talk about the second one example, in which we have silver, ammonia, and along with we have chlorine. So it produces the chlorine, which is a simple anion, and a complex cation which will carry the positive charge. So this was all about today's topic. I hope you guys understand. And if you have any queries, you may ask me about that in the comment section, and I will get back to you guys soon. So the next topic that we will discuss it is the components of complex compounds and components of the coordination compounds in detail. For that time, you guys keep learning and have a good day.